You guys will have to let me know in the comment section if you've played Destiny Rising yet. I've played a little bit of it. I apologize if some of the gameplay here looks a bit janky. I'm running it on PC and still working on smoothing out the graphics settings and things like that. Whether you've experienced Destiny Rising or not, whether you intend to, or even whether you enjoy it, isn't really the point of this video. But as folks in the Destiny community have been saying in general, Bungie should certainly learn a few things from how NetEase have developed this game. Immediately right here, I would say, I don't believe Destiny Rising is a better game than Destiny 2, as some people have suggested. Obviously, it misses Bungie's trademark gameplay. Progression is certainly very different, and Destiny Rising is a free-to-play mobile game, so inevitably there will be so-called gacha mechanics. However, Destiny Rising has done a bunch of things better than Destiny 2 does in certain respects. One of them being the new player experience. So when you head into Destiny Rising, there are a bunch of missions that introduce you to the game in general, both in terms of combat mechanics, but also rewards. And Destiny Rising generally communicates other elements like damage bonuses for perks, where actual damage numbers are displayed, such as a perk describing the amount of damage that it increases a weapon by and how long it lasts for. And if anything, in Destiny 2, one of the things Bungie have really struggled with is the onboarding experience for new players. This has been a long-running issue for Bungie, and the New Light campaign that we had a few years back now was Bungie's only real stab at this, which in a lot of ways is a shame because when we look at the game as it is right now, most of the content that the majority of us are actually playing on a daily basis in Destiny 2 is free-to-play content. So it's kind of mind-blowing that Bungie have made so much of current D2 free, but I actually haven't seen that advertised like anywhere. So it's a component that Bungie could learn a little bit from Destiny Rising on. Destiny Rising is also full of features which players have been asking for in Destiny 2 for a long time. So there are things firstly like clan housing and bases with actual shared social spaces. Also, I really like in Destiny Rising how Haven, the social space, kind of has more of a classic RPG or MMO feeling to it. And in some respects, it actually feels like more of a living world than the tower in Destiny. Other cool things with Destiny Rising is the way that they approach storytelling, right? It's a bit cheesier than Destiny is, but there are really cool moments even when you're introduced to Destiny Rising, where NPCs show up in missions. My first experience of this was Kabir showing up, of course the famous Guardian who met their fate in the Vault of Glass, giving us backstory about their experiences in the world before the time that the Vault of Glass even occurred. And I feel like Bungie could learn a thing or two from this because it's an opportunity to expand the world and the lore. Destiny having an element of mystery to it is also valuable and has always been kind of the vibe of Destiny, so I'm sure Bungie want to be careful not to spoil certain legends, but from a foundational point of view, Destiny Rising does a better job of kind of character building and backstory in some respects than Destiny 2 does. I also like how, as you move through different areas in Destiny Rising, there are opportunities to open up lore cards about places that you're visiting, right? As well as key characters in missions that you complete. And this is presented in a way that Bungie have never really managed to do in Destiny. Something else that Destiny Rising has are patch notes actually in the game. So whenever there's an update, there's a preview of what's changing as well as a full breakdown of the post-patch changes once they're live. There's also been a lot of commentary on how Destiny Rising have reacted to player feedback early on in the game. Within the first week, buffing pinnacle rewards, significantly increasing the chance of receiving exotic weapons, as well as economy changes, which have been iterated on relatively quickly, especially versus what we get in Destiny 2. And naturally, with how player sentiment feels with Destiny 2 right now, that does generate a lot of comments about Bungie seemingly paying less attention to feedback than Destiny Rising devs are. We do know, however, that the pipeline is certainly different when it comes to actually developing changes on the Destiny game engine. I've seen reports that the Destiny Rising devs took feedback from forums and actually implemented changes in less than a week to rewards in the game. Again, can't really make a like-for-like comparison to Destiny 2 here, but definitely highlights how relatively slow changes are for the main game. But Destiny Rising also has a ping system, side games, mini games like a card game or fishing in the Haven social space that really build into that social living world component of Destiny. One of the things that Bungie just about beat Destiny Rising to was the shooting range in the tower. Of course, Destiny Rising announced that it had a shooting range before Bungie announced it for Edge of Fate. But other things like fun modes, Sparrow Racing League is essentially a game mode in Destiny Rising. And there are other more minor but very good features that Destiny Destiny Rising has, as Miss Lead shared right here. There's a feature where you can see who in your clan has completed a raid encounter, and there's a function that literally allows you to copy their exact loadout. So if, for instance, you were in a raid and someone was absolutely bossing with DPS, Destiny Rising literally has a feature to say, hey, I want to be able to do some of that. It's also possible to rearrange the HUD layout in Destiny Rising. As Crusader pointed out on X, they made the mobile version essentially as close to the D2 version of the HUD that you could possibly get. And ultimately, the point of this video is not to say that Destiny Rising is better than Destiny 2, because I personally do not believe that is the case by any means. I'm not sure really in the long run how much I'll invest into Destiny Rising, but Destiny Rising has done a very good job of demonstrating how features, especially in relation to the social aspects of the game, the variation in game modes, even components like akimbo weapons, some of the navigation systems, some of the big things that players actually talk about in relation to Destiny Rising versus Destiny 2 is just how feature-rich the game actually feels. Obviously, NetEase have one advantage over Bungie in that they've had time to develop Destiny Rising and to look at some of the top bits of feedback about Destiny 2, and specifically to focus on features that players of Destiny 2 have been asking for. It's very obvious that they've done a lot of that, and at the same time, Bungie have the challenge of having to maintain a larger live game that consistently changes and gets new updates. So I'm not saying it's an easy balance, but Destiny Rising has demonstrated how fulfilling those kind of community requested features, the onboarding experience and the social game can go a really long way in terms of making the game feel more enjoyable. So as other players have said, Bungie should totally be paying attention to what NetEase have done. And whether Bungie can realistically implement any of the features which we see in Destiny Rising over the next few years on Destiny 2, we will just have to wait and see. But it's certainly worth thinking about, and I'd love to get your experiences with Destiny Rising if you've played it down in the comment section, or if you haven't played it, let me know why. I know a lot of players are dubious about the gacha component of a lot of mobile games, especially ones developed by NetEase. There's also the fact that this is a mobile game. Most of us are probably not prolific mobile gamers, unless of course you're on PC where there are pretty good emulator options. I get that the platform thing is difficult though. I certainly wouldn't be that interested in playing this on a mobile device, at least without a controller, but even if it's in relation to the systems that you've seen in Destiny Rising, I'd love to get your thoughts on whether Bungie should be implementing more of these kinds of things in D2. So that's the video for today, guys. NetEase are certainly getting a lot of credit for Destiny Rising right now. We'll see how it all pans out over the long term, but it's food for thought and I'd love to get your impressions in the comment section. If you've enjoyed the video, a rating very much helps us out. Also be sure to get subscribed for more D2 content, but otherwise, cheers for watching, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.